Top 10 books Bill Gates recommends reading this summer. Welcome to our channel today as we bring you the top 10 books Bill Gates recommends reading this summer. There are several types of books, including storybooks, rhyme books, horror books, and textbooks. Ugh. Who wants to read books like that? Some might even describe it as a nightmare. The same. However, there are nice books, books that illuminate our lives, and I'm sure you, I, or we have read them as well. However, not all of us have the opportunity to read these wonderful books, because we all have jobs to do. You've already heard of Bill Gates. He must be very busy as one of the world's most influential entrepreneurs and celebrated philanthropists, but he somehow finds time to read at least one book every week. Bill Gates' tastes are very diverse as an unabashed bookworm, and he's built a reading list of books that cater to the same palate. Here are 10 books that Bill Gates suggests you read this summer. Before we continue, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get more luxurious videos delivered right to you. Let's start. Number 10 is Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. According to Gates, this prize-winning novel from 2004 is a touching and very clear tale of moral choices. It looks at how selfish and evil people can be, as well as how helpful and decent people can be. Mitchell weaves 6 interconnected stories set in various times and locations into the book structure, which can be confusing at times. It's the kind of book you'll want to share with someone else, Gates says, recommending reading it with a friend or family member. Reading it was like putting together a puzzle for me, because I'm sure I didn't catch all that was going on. Number 9 is The Ride of a Lifetime by Robert Iger. Right off the bat, Gates reveals that he doesn't read many business books. However, Iger's book is an exception, as Gates recommended it to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. Iger takes readers on a journey as Disney's CEO from 2006 to 2020, during the company's most disruptive years, which include the $4.2 billion purchase of Marvel Comics and the $4.1 billion purchase of Lucasfilm, which owns the Star Wars franchise. Gates writes, "I think everyone will enjoy this book, whether they're looking for market wisdom or just want a nice read by a humble guy who grew up the corporate ladder to effectively run one of the world's biggest businesses." Number 8 is 7 Eves by Neal Stephenson. 7 Eves encouraged me to rekindle my sci-fi habit, Gates says, despite the fact that he hasn't read science fiction in a decade. The story starts with a moon exploding and continues as humans realize that this may have devastating consequences for humanity. This science-filled saga spans millennia, Amazon.com writes. But make no mistake, the heart of this story is its all-too-human characters and how their decisions, good and bad, forge the future of our species. But beware, readers, this book is long, approximately 800 pages, and contains a lot of technical information. It does, however, make a nice flat surface for your beach cocktail. Number 7 is The Power to Compete, an economist and an entrepreneur on revitalizing Japan in the global economy by Ryoichi Mikitani and Hiroshi Mikitani. Hiroshi Mikitani, the founder and CEO of online retailer Rakuten, and his economist father discuss the causes of Japan's economic woes and the possibilities for revitalization in this book. While Gates does not agree with everything in the book, he believes it provides a smart look at the future for this fascinating country. Number 6 is Life is What You Make It by Peter Buffett. Peter Buffett has had a prosperous life as well, but not entirely due to his wealthy and successful father. This book tells the story of a hardworking, wealthy child and the values instilled in him by his father, which helped him achieve success in music and philanthropy. Bill Gates has stated that he would read this book with his older children. You don't have to be the son or daughter of a rich man to benefit from this knowledge and enjoy your journey. From composer, artist, and philanthropist, Peter Buffett comes to a wet, wise, and inspiring book that asks, which will you choose, the path of least resistance or the path of potentially greatest satisfaction, according to the publisher? What Bill Gates has to say about it. Contrary to popular opinion, Peter will not inherit a large amount of money from his father. His parents, on the other hand, helped him forge his course. The book is a record of the trip, as well as the insights and perspective he's gained along the way. Number 5 is Where Good Ideas Come From by Stephen Johnson. Being good necessitates some level of creativity. For many people, this buzzword does not conjure up vivid images. What makes fertile ground for effective innovation is described by where good ideas come from. The printing press, the pencil, the flush toilet, and the battery are brilliant ideas, the publisher says of the novel. But where do they originate? What kind of climate does it take to breed them? What causes a burst of brilliance? How do we develop breakthrough technologies that propel our lives, our society, and our culture forward? Stephen Johnson's responses are eye-opening as he describes and traces the 7 main trends that underpin true creativity through time and disciplines. It's a worthwhile book, particularly for people in business or education, Bill Gates said. It discusses the structural processes that foster good ideas, such as how to get a lot of people thinking about cutting-edge issues, how to get people together in a space where various skill sets and influences can collide, and how to make the right materials accessible without forcing a conclusion. Number 4 is Moonwalking with Einstein by Joshua Foer. You can't succeed if you're notorious for being forgetful. This book will teach you how to remember both obscure and useful details. It's perfect for those of us who have difficulty recalling names. Moonwalking with Einstein recounts Joshua Foer's year-long search to develop his memory under the tutelage of top mental athletes, according to the publisher. To change our understanding of human memory, he draws on cutting-edge science, surprising cultural history of remembering, and venerable mentalist tricks. Like most people, I'm intrigued by how the mind works, and memory is a huge part of that, Bill Gates says. Part of the appeal of this book is that it demonstrates how memory and comprehension are not mutually exclusive. Building reasoning skills and knowledge retention skills go hand in hand. Number 3 is The Most Powerful Idea in the World by William Rosen. This book seems to be about railroads and engines at first glance. If you're into that sort of thing, that's great. The true significance is understanding why these machines were so good. What was it about railroads that make them so capable of changing the world? The following is what the publisher had to say about it. There isn't a week that goes by without any high-profile court case involving intellectual property. But where did the idea of owning an idea come from? And how has that conviction influenced the way people live and work? The book's thesis is that the Anglophone world, England, Scotland, Wales, and America, was the Industrial Revolution's epicenter because it democratized the essence of innovation. Rosen makes a strong case that the steam engine is the quintessential example of workplace democratization. Number 2 is Awakening Joy by James Baraz. What motivates you to be successful? One explanation may be joy. This book will show you how to be happy when achieving success. Awakening Joy is more than just another book on happiness, says the publisher. It uses time-tested methods to educate the mind to learn new ways of thinking, rather than just suggesting techniques to alter our actions. While much of the content contains Buddhist philosophy derived from the author's 30 years as a Buddhist meditation instructor and spiritual advisor, the course's values are universal. Joy is not for the fortunate few. It's an option everyone can make, Bill Gates says. James Baraz offers a step-by-step program to reorient your mind away from frustration and distraction and toward the contentment and delight that is readily available in our daily lives in this revolutionary book based on his famous course. Number 1 is Business Adventures, 12 Classic Tales from the World of Wall Street by John Brooks. I had to include this because it's Bill Gates' favorite business book. Take a look at the image if you don't believe me. It's a collection of Wall Street stories intended to embody valuable and universal values that every entrepreneur should know. Warren Buffett, Bill's mentor, gave him this book in 1991. If you wanted another excuse to pick it up, we found it interesting that money is cyclical. That's to say, certain things tend to repeat themselves. We've seen this before with real estate crashes, stock market crashes, major manufacturer failures, and now with the crypto room. That's it for the top 10 books Bill Gates recommends reading this summer. If you liked our video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Your team from Luxury List.